how so fast. It's like amazing. I hope you're all well.
I've got big black eyes this week, guys. You need to give me some love.
She's been a bit busy. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Yeah,
I have been a bit busy this week.
Hi,
I'm
Annette.
so tired. I've been working so hard behind the scenes for well, I've done our sign. Look, I'm going to show you this because I'm really chuffed with it.
Hi, Jolanta.
This has come out backwards, hasn't it?
Hi, Debbie. Hi,
That
Mary.
shouldn't be backwards.
Oh.
Well, I obviously haven't done the flip right, but anyway, it says, Creative Minds Unite.
And it will be the right way round next week.
On the day.
Promise.
And if you don't know what Creative Minds Unite is, you're going to find out. This is, we do Paint a Pint on a Thursday, and I haven't even got my time.
Oh,
Christ.
gosh, we're not organised this morning. We've got so much going on. Cheers. Cheers.
And pause. And breathe.
Deep breath. Hello, Barbara. Do you want to do news updates or do you want to do our share first?
Let's do the prizes.
Okay.
Right, up for grabs last week.
Out for
was-
grabs last week. You got it there.
You got that. IOD mould and some paper clay to have a go with. And you were brilliant last week. You did so many shares. It was the best. It was the best.
You did exactly what you were told to do. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Michelle.
So we were really chuffed with this number of shares.
I mean,
It's taken
2
an
shares,
hour
3
to
shares.
write out the numbers, the names even.
but I got that.
Well then, right, we're not doing number 7 today. That's
No.
it. We're over that.
That was so last week.
So last.
Who've we got?
Oh,
Who's it?
Tracy Toms, and it's back to front. Sorry, I haven't flipped the camera
Oh,
right. But it's
Tracy Toms. Congratulations.
Private message me your address, and I'll get it off to the post.
That will be
Well
going
done.
to you.
This week's prizes.
Yes.
And what have you got to do? What have you got to do to get this prize? I've got my silly voice on. You
Share, share, share.
share. I might share it in the comments. And please share because
Hi,
we're doing
Michelle.
lots
Hi,
of
Georgia.
advertising for our forthcoming Mind Day. So we want as many people to know about it as possible.
And you've been brilliant sharing those with the post that we've done about next week's
Yeah.
Creative Minds. You've been brilliant sharing those on as well. So thank you for that.
So up for grabs. We got an IOD mini wreath stamp, and to go with it, again back to front. Sorry, our favourite colour.
Yes, that's
Stays on permanent ink. You can seal it with finishing cream. All works immediately afterwards. No smudging. You can use it on fabric. It's brilliant. So it's a good prize.
Hi Sue. Hi
Thank
Mary.
you, Cheryl. Ready?
Oh yes, share the
Well
vote.
done,
I haven't got my
well
specs on. So
Right, well you're in the grabs for that. So that's going to be next week's.
talking of specs, you know, like last week it was held on by gaffer tape. It's finally gone.
I think you
So-
might need to go to Specsavers.
I'm going to have to go somewhere, that's for sure. Right, we've got an exciting week of well, crafts really this week, haven't we?
Yeah, because normally we do 2-week things, and obviously next week is going to be our marathon, which is going to fall on the Wednesday, not the Thursday, guys. So
Yes,
make
so
sure that you
make a
tune
note
in
of
on
that.
Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to be comatose all day, so I'm not even going to be in the shop.
Thank you,
Thursday.
Annette. Thank you, Barbara.
So we won't be on Thursday as well. That's just too much.
Oh,
You'll be sick
oh
on the site of
please,
this, by then.
please. Hi, Michelle.
Right, and as the stress is mounting,
The stress really is mounting.
it is mounting, I've created our very own swear pot.
Which is back to
Some
front.
of our clients that we have on
Hello,
our lineup are a
Mandy.
bit worried about swearing. So what we're going to do is make a bit of a gimmick of it, really. So
Yeah.
we got loads
We're
of
not
cans-
advocating that they go
We're
out
not,
and they
but
start swearing,
we accept
but
that it happens.
It happens.
So I've got a bell. If anyone hears any swearing, hand goes in the pot.
Hand
It's
in
all
the pot.
going to mind.
Pound in the pot. This pot, I've got a feeling this pot might be quite full by the time. 12 till 12, that's 12
I
hours.
think we're going to have to make a list of acceptable swear
We
words.
might need a bigger pot.
Does Christ count?
You let us know. You let us know what's
Let's
acceptable.
know what's acceptable swear word.
Right. And what we could have the watershed, couldn't we? What's acceptable before the watershed? What's acceptable after the watershed? Right, let's get cracking. Do you want to start, or shall I?
Well, we've got loads of sort of ideas as examples here because, as I say, it's a 1-week special and we just wanted to give you some Halloween stuff ahead of time. We're not as big on Halloween in the UK. It's gradually getting bigger and more of a
is.
thing. My kids certainly love it, and
Yeah.
I've been trick-or-treating for years.
I mean, we were saying the other day, we know that in the States, fall, the whole season is a big season for you, and you're all decorating
it's
your
not,
porches,
yeah,
and it's
not-
lovely
it's
to
not
see.
really.
We tend to
Halloween
miss all
is
that,
it,
and Halloween at the
and
end.
bonfire night.
Hello, Holly. Thank you, Fiona.
Sure, thank you.
You're so funny.
Yeah, I don't try
You're
to
so
be
funny. So yeah, we're getting together Halloween bits. Apologies for if we turn our back to you.
So I was going to show you to start with my side. Oh no, come on. Right, look. This is funny. Not deliberately so, right?
I did say she didn't have to own up to this.
Now, you know that lots of people have been talking about hot glue
Patricia.
to make moulds, and they're brilliant for these kind of projects because they
Terrific.
stay flexible. These were made yesterday. So, right. See if you can guess which
Whose
one's
is whose?
mine.
Show them the back. Who's got a nice smooth back and who's got a very rough and ready
I think
back?
I need to go on a course.
But there is a knack, and she knows now.
Even so, when I got it on my book, you see, and painted it, even so,
it looks fine,
it
doesn't it?
looks all right.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I will give her that. I will give her that.
But I was happily making the moulds yesterday in preparation, and she took one look in horror and said, "What on earth is that? Look, there's holes and everything. Look."
It's pretty rubbish.
And then she said,
Sorry, but it is. Thank you, Patricia.
just quickly knocked that up, and look, it's perfect. Because I was like, I said to her, "How do you get the back so smooth?" Because it was all lumpy. So anyway, I have charged Amanda with demonstrating how to do it really well. Okay.
Oh God, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Do you want me to do
Yeah,
that
yeah,
now?
let's do that. Let's go down with that.
Okay, so you've got hot glue gun. So this is nice and hot already because I've plugged it in. And mine takes these lovely big, long, chunky ones. That one. It's like a wand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I've got a mould here for you.
Yeah, let me hold it here. Let me hold it here.
You want to hold it here? Oh God, how am I going to do it with you holding it? I don't know. Right, we'll manage. What do you think?
Right, you got to say the
I've not
words.
come close enough. What do you mean I've got to say what words?
Well, because I do this kind of trigger action.
Paula goes she goes trigger happy with it. You need to be gentle.
So we decided I like it rough.
So, should we go for this flower here?
Yeah, go on now.
Okay, so
So
just
it's-
gently squeezing. It's
I
not
think
particularly
you've got different glue
self-leveling.
there. I think it
Yeah,
might
but
be your
even
glue. I'm not...
well, even with your glue, darling, it was better than yours.
She called me darling.
Darling, you know I'm mad
I
when
don't
I say
know if I like that.
darling. So just
have a bit of a
gently
thing about that.
smoothing
Do
it
you?
in.
People that call you hun, and
All right, hon. All right, sweetheart.
yeah, I don't know if I like that.
Do you know what? It's because I'm useless with names. Okay, so that's just smooth itself off.
You missed a bit.
Yeah. No specs. Missed a bit.
Does it? You can see it's
I
self-leveled.
need to-
Loads, but mine just didn't do that at all.
Push it in with the next one.
Mine just didn't do that. Now somebody, I can't remember who, posted a picture of their glue gun. Because there's obviously different sizes, and theirs was obviously one up from this. It looked like a professional
Yeah,
one.
you can get professional ones. You can just get these from your local craft stores.
Yeah.
But
But that worked.
they're
You can see
absolutely
it's
fine.
worked. Look,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. It's perfectly.
Yeah, it's nice and smooth. It's doing it slowly. It's sort of squeezing it gently rather than me.
How does it go?
Just like that.
It's the facial expression that goes with it.
I am off on one today. I'm sorry. So yeah, brilliant.
So you've got to wait a little while for it to
About
go.
5 minutes.
Yeah, so don't try and get it out straight away, otherwise you ruin it.
And
And
you'll
we'll show you
pop
what
it
that
down your
looks
fingers.
like when we're done. So, here's one we made earlier. What we did discover was, despite my terrible attempts, the easiest way to stick this on was with the glue gun
Glue
itself.
gun, yeah. So we've got various ones. We've got these ones that
You're going to use.
I'm going to use. So these look like sort of bindings, really. Then there's a lovely little keyhole there. So these are going to be stuck on. The book is going to be painted. Then we're going to do stamp some lettering down the spine, lettering on the front.
Yeah, we're going for this.
We're going to get in some waxes.
We're going for that.
Here's what we prepared earlier.
Back, but not back to front. Obviously.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be working on today.
So I have, a long time ago, I started with the glue gun, making bottles like this to sell. And that is literally, I've just used the glue gun to make these shapes.
Yes,
and
Debbie, we are.
what I did was use a Sharpie pen to write out.
No, Patricia, I won't. Well, I might. She wants me to make the noise.
So I've drawn a Sharpie. Can you see? I've drawn it out with a Sharpie pen. Now, if you're going to paint it white, you can't do the Sharpie pen because it actually comes through the paint. But for this kind of purposes, I've then glued it. And the great thing is that even if you make a mistake, you can just pick it off and put it back on, put a bit more on.
Easy peasy, isn't it?
So it's really easy. And then the outcome is something like back to front. Oh, back to front. What have I done? This is Raven, but I've used a bit of silver metallic wax to just pick out the raised bit. But I think they look really cool.
Works really, really well with the hot glue.
They're really, really cool. So I'm going to be
doing, mad dog?
cracking on with my bottle. Noodle's having a mad one. Come in.
It's having a funny 5 minutes. So you're going to be working on your bottles.
Yeah.
What else have we got on the go?
Now we have workshops here, and in Halloween last year we had children coming to paint pumpkins, and I didn't know how many people we were going to have, and I didn't want to order a million real pumpkins that I then had to eat forever. So I ordered these polystyrene ones, so I've still got some left. So we're having a little play. Again, I've put some IOD moulds made with a glue gun and my fair hands, so they're looking particularly marvellous.
They'll look great. And this is same again with the IOD mould. This has had its first
See, it looks fine.
layer of...
It does actually.
It looks old, aged.
That was deliberate.
And this one was
And then
the one you did.
that's a bit of decoupage that's left over from last year. And I'm not going to show you how to do that. That's going to be for another day. But it's an idea.
It's very sweet.
Again, it looks quite cute. Yeah.
Pretties it up, doesn't it?
So we're just sort of having a mess around with... Amanda had to go yesterday with my paint, starting to paint. So we might add some bits on that as well. I don't really know. We're just sort of playing today.
This is one I did last year. I just thought it's
Yeah, I like that. It looks really
the
proper
book
old.
in an old shop, and what I've done with this one is I've put raised stenciling on it using this stencil.
Yeah.
You got it then? Can you get it? It's one I use a lot actually. As again, I have no idea what it says.
It's Hobbycraft.
It's Hobbycraft. I got that one from.
Art Deco?
Yes, it is.
Art
Thank
Deco?
you. It's Art
I think
Deco.
you can order it online.
Oh, thanks, Barbara. So yeah, done the raised stenciling. I've put on a napkin.
Yeah.
I've done.
So we've got kind of Halloween napkin.
And just like I did last week, where I did this raised stenciling on a piece of tissue paper because it was really hard getting the, you know, doing one letter at a time sort of thing, and that's worked out quite nicely. So I'm very happy with that. Touches of gold wax.
That looks more authentic than mine, to be honest.
It's the book itself.
Yeah, I agree. The size of the book's great.
Yeah, just looks like an old spell book.
Yeah. I'm not jealous.
Jealous.
No, and then the last thing we've got to know, I'm not jealous.
Yeah.
The last thing is really simple idea, but I got these images. These are Alice in Wonderland, which you know I love, and I downloaded these from Etsy. You just put in digital images.
They've got loads on there.
They've got loads. They cost very little, and they download immediately to your computer as soon as you've paid, and they're really high quality. You just have to be careful that they look at their rules, because some pictures are allowed to be sold and some as on projects. So we've got projects that have ended up like such. Amanda's did these amazing ones using...
They're just tiny little things.
They're really cute. Look at that though.
Well, you
Come
know,
out
you
really
could
cute.
fill those with sweets as a
Yeah,
Halloween treat.
really
so just
nice.
They're quite nice.
But the labels you can download straight from Etsy. But as I say, some of them say for personal use only, and some say you are allowed to sell them in small quantities or something. So, but you do have to check that. Right.
Right. I've just put hot glue on the back of this. Ow! I've burnt my finger.
I don't think mine's warm.
Ow! Just burnt my finger. Hot glue gun is hot. I mean, hot.
You took her fingers out yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't mind after I was slagging off my. I thought it was quite amusing.
So yeah, using the hot glue gun to actually stick it. Get these little strands of glue, and it just works fantastically.
I'm just waiting to see. Oh yeah, it's.
I think because it's got these little holes on, the glue's coming through the
Yeah,
holes.
I can do smooth. I'm doing smooth. So I'm literally just following the line. Doesn't matter. Even the stringy bits kind of add to the old effect. Now, I haven't told you this, but I had back in the day when I did a load of these I love yous, and I also did ones with like marriage, people's names on and the date they got married and gave them as presents and things like that. And I had a lovely shop contact me, and they wanted to stock a whole load of wedding ones and so on. And I had the most massive order to fulfill. I think I did 80 or 90 bottles. Wow. Over the space of a weekend.
How long did it take you to drink all that?
Well, yeah. A couple of minutes.
That's another story.
That's another story. But yeah, I did it non-stop over the whole weekend. Now I didn't. That isn't a dog, is it? Have you got a dog?
I'll sort him.
Yeah, it's right, dog's right. There's a big crash outside.
Is he out there?
Yeah. I didn't know this was a thing, but it is a thing. When you use one finger on your trigger gun constantly, by the time I'd finished, my finger was actually numb. I couldn't feel the end of my finger.
Yeah.
And that lasted 3 months.
I'm not surprised.
I ended up going to the GP saying this is madness, and I know what caused it because it happened as soon as I did it. But is it going to come back? Am I ever going to? Because it was my main finger that I used for phoning and typing, and you know, it was just felt weird every time I tried to use it.
I did something similar, and this finger literally, it was stuck in with this bit turned down, and it got locked like that for weeks. Yeah, and it was
from this.
No, from doing something. I forget what it was. I was using the finger to follow something, and it got stuck.
Injury or something. It's a thing.
Yeah, repetitive strain injury.
Goodness sake!
Right. These have been stuck on. Okay, we're going to keep toing and froing.
Yeah.
Thought it would be easier that way. So they're nice and firmly stuck on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my first layer of paint on there. What colour are we thinking? Oh, hi, Carol. Oh, that's nice for you to say. Hello, Sarah. Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and put the first coat of paint on that.
You really should try this personalised bottle. It's a really great present. This is a spider's web without spider. Amanda suggested I'd put a spider in it, but
she was having none of it.
I don't do spiders at all, like at all. And we had a really lot, because I work in a garden centre, we have lots of them, and I have to have a plan in my head about what happens if I find one when I get in here. And I always clock who's available outside in the garden centre world. Who can save me?
Who can save you from the scary
Yeah, and we had
spiders?
a ginormous one behind this bit of furniture this week. And trusty Andrea, who loves spiders, who's fine with them, did not deal with it. Not because she was frightened, but she lost it. For all spider lovers, that's just the worst thing. My husband says, no, sorry, it's gone, can't find it. I dropped it. Dropped it.
You know it's there somewhere.
And it's there, and he's going, no, it's gone now. It's not. It's not gone.
Those of you that live outside the UK, I mean, God knows what you think of us. We have no poisonous spiders in this country to worry about.
They're pretty death-defying to me.
Not that we know.
I smashed my laptop last year because of a spider running at me. They always run at you, don't you? They know. They run at me.
Get back to you, Georgia.
And I threw my laptop in the air and smashed the screen. My husband was not impressed.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. No sympathy for it.
So I've been managing, and because I'll try anything. I've got a big bag of conkers, which are all behind that piece of furniture now. Which I don't know if it's a good thing or not, because it might mean that they run out. Because they don't like the smell of conkers. I don't know, is that a thing?
They might all come out.
They might all come
at
out.
once.
Might be all in the middle. En masse. Christ. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. That's me so.
Hello, Noodle. Yes, I love you. You know I do. You're going to get paint on you, darling.
Noodle's a bit bonkers at the moment because he's on restricted walks. Most of you know he's had a bit of an eye infection, and it all cleared up and got better. And then I took him back to where I walk him, which is the woods nearby, because he loves it there. But there's all these ferns that are now, I guess, dying back. And I don't know if there's something in there that irritates him, but it's all flared up again. So.
Well, talking of dogs and dog walking.
Oh yeah.
I did have a funny experience.
Good story.
A friend of mine, who's I haven't seen for a while actually, a couple of years, got in touch, and we decided to meet up. Now he's got this dog now, lovely collie it is, but it's so skittish. It's scared of everything, scared of its own shadow. Anyway, so we took the dog for a walk. Lovely big fields, lots of other dog walkers there, and we'd been throwing the ball and, you know, all this, that and the other, and we decided we'd just sit down. So we had a drink, the dog had some water, everything was lovely, the sun was shining, everyone was happy. And while we're there sort of, you know, reclining, legs out, sort of on the grass, it's very lovely, older lady but sprightly. She's walking two dogs. Big soft golden retriever, really soft, you know, just wanted to sit there and do nothing. And this beautiful yappy, as you like, what they called?
Jack Russell.
Jack Russell, thank you. And it's a diddy one, a really, really diddy one. And it was all over the place, you know how they are. And it was coming up and giving us big sloppy dog kisses and jumping over our legs like hurdles and going round us and round us. It was like a wind-up toy. It didn't seem to run out of energy, you know. And then it jumped over my friend's legs again, stopped, cocked its leg on his ankles, on his, you know, the bottom of his legs. He didn't even notice.
He just went warm.
Suddenly his leg was a bit warm. And I tell you, that it cracked me up. I couldn't contain myself. That absolutely made my week. Absolutely made my week. So yeah, there's my dog story.
You like everyone suffering, don't you?
No, but it was funny. It wouldn't have been funny if it was my leg.
No.
No, I'd have been quite
No,
horrified.
I remember going to the fair with the kids when I was a few years back, and fortunately we actually had finished the fair, but this seagull, or felt like, I don't know what a group of seagulls is called, but a whole million of them flew over and pooped on my head, like it was literally running everywhere.
That's disgusting.
What are the likelihood of that kind of aim? And the kids were just killing themselves with laughing. And now that's all they associate the fair with.
I'm not surprised.
That's where you had that bird poo all over you, isn't it? That's all they say every time we go, and I'm happy to.
That's like something you'd see out of a comedy strip, isn't it?
You couldn't have planned it better. But can you see I'm just using a stipple paintbrush even, just to get into all the gaps where the glue is. And I'm not going to do it all one colour, but I'm doing bits of colour, but it's already coming up quite good with one coat. Hello, Carolyn. Hello. Hello, dears, from Canada. Hi, Anna. Oh, she's been quite a regular. I've seen your name come up a few times.
We get lots of regulars, don't we? It's really super. Right. I want to go in and sort of mix some colours.
So what do you do on Halloween now?
Me? Oh.
Do you are you one of those people that don't answer the door?
No, far from it. I live on it's like a family estate, and so of course there's loads and loads of young families, lots of young children.
Yeah.
And I make the effort every year, since my kids were tiny and they're now adults in their own right. So we get loads of sweets in, dress up, you know, everything's great. We go for it.
I like that.
Expecting kids to come. And when my kids were tiny, the rest of the kids in the neighbourhood, they would come and knock, you know, and we're almost running out of sweets. For the last few years, it's been a bit disappointing. My kids don't join in, so, you know, they sit in their rooms and what have you. I get loads of sweets in, wait for the doorbell.
And then you have to eat them all, how terrible.
But the kids don't come round. I think because they don't, you know, they're not associating us with having young families. Oh, we've done everything. We've had pumpkins lit up and what have you. So, you know, and you see groups of children, because they tend to go out in little groups, the little ones, you know, with several mums and dads. And I can see them, and they're just walking straight past our house. And I'm out there going, we've got sweets! We've got sweets! And trying to sort of lure these children in.
Sounds healthy, doesn't it? No, she's one of them.
But no, it's lovely, you know, they say, oh, who's underneath that mask, and see if I recognise them. And it used to be quite nice, because when I worked in a school for 12 years, so lots of the local kids, they'd come and they'd knock on my door, and they'd go, oh, when they realised it was me. It was, you know, someone from school. I'm sure they think that we used to be put in the cupboard at the end of the school day and come out and walk out again the next day. But now we have homes and lives and families of our own.
Yeah, I always found that because I worked in a school for a little while. And
it's so nice, isn't it?
It is, and I loved the little ones. And when you'd met them in Tesco's or something, you could see them whispering to their mums, Mrs. Rose! Oh my God, Nan, it's Mrs. Rose! She's like alive and out of the school.
She's real.
And they go all shy, and then the next day at school they'd say, I saw you. Like it was a top secret and you'd escaped. I saw you.
I went to your house and you had chocolate. Yeah. Yes, I felt like the child catcher or something. Right.
Well, on my route, I'm pretty sure there is a child catcher. He goes to town, making because we still go trick or treating. We're debating this year. Georgia's 12, and she's like, I know it's probably not very cool, but I really like it. So we're still debating. But en route, there is this guy that goes to a lot of trouble to make this kind of tunnel to his house. With all sorts of things, jumping out, music and all sorts. But he's a bit odd. He is a bit odd, and he comes out, and after the first, he kind of captures you, and then he wants to tell you this huge long story.
He wants his money's worth for his candy, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he because I used to foster children as well, and one of my foster children, bless him, didn't hold back. Like ever. And we're at the front, and he'd been talking for about 20 minutes, and my foster child just said to him, look, can we just have the trees? We're just here for the trees, can you stop talking?
I like his brutal
honesty.
Yeah,
it was, and so now we have to walk past his house, and he comes out and says, this way, come here. And we're all like, no,
that's what I do.
That's a bit weird. I don't think that's right. So we're all scuttling past going, don't look, don't make eye contact.
It's the weird man. I'll just show you what I'm doing with this. Okay. I'll just do the front for now. I'll do the back later because of drying times and what have you. So I've gone in with a green. Initially, that's gone all over. And then I've stippled in this lovely... I always think it's the same one. Are you using this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same colour that Paula's using. Melucent
is a smooth talking chocolate
velvet.
Oh,
he's my chocolate guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got the gift of the gab.
So I've gone in with it. I'm now going to go in with a more of a khaki colour, which I think is Alice.
Yeah.
Aubrey. No, it's definitely the darker one, isn't it? I think. Looks Alice. It's like Alice.
And look at mine. Its shading has come out really nice. Can you see how effective that is? I think people in the US are too scared to go to their door. I'm not sure why. Paranoid Americans. Oh, we don't, because we don't do much. We don't do much of the trick stuff in this country, to be fair. And whenever we go around with our kids, I've always gone as adults with them. Yeah. I don't let them go on their own.
No, I don't.
And we only knock on houses that have got clear evidence of Halloween stuff in the window or whatever, so I don't want to scare people.
Family, friends. And...
Yeah, we've always taught the kids, you don't persevere crashing on the door if people aren't answering, because it's not about scaring people. I
think that my might need a bit of white.
Yeah, it's a bit sad when your kids sort of...
They grow up
They
eventually,
grow up and
don't
then,
they?
yeah, I mean, we've been doing it for years, and to an extent we've moaned at the effort, but then when
But
you
it's
realise you'll
lovely,
never do
isn't
it again,
Yeah.
you're like a bit sad. I quite like that.
And I am a bit sad doing Halloween on my own while my kids are just, you know, watching video games. And
That's kind of
I
quite...
don't know why you bother, Mum.
We see, I mean, there have been some amazing pumpkins. You go all out on your decorative baubles in America.
Yes, my goodness.
On the tribe, there is just loads of it, and we just don't do it here. In fact, we did a load of baubles last year for the shop to sell, and I don't think we sold one. And they were beautiful, but people just wouldn't pay the money.
I think
And they
it's
weren't
definitely
massively highly priced.
you know, a more American thing that you do the whole full thing. It's not just a one-day Halloween,
And
is it?
Thanksgiving, you see, we don't have that either,
No.
do we?
This mould I've just taken out, the one I did previously. It's beautifully smooth. Beautifully smooth.
We don't like that.
So yeah, I mean, I could have taken that out a while ago. Actually, I kind of forgot we'd done it. But these, they're great. They're so flexible. I mean, look at this. You know, you can get that around the spine of a book, and it's fantastic. Oh, Fiona's on about spiders. But I can't.
Do you do spiders or not? Not
Not
a
problem.
Oh, well, brilliant for you. Brilliant.
South Africa. Is that because you are in South Africa, or they are a problem in South Africa?
I
couldn't
go
see your
to a
original
country
comment.
where they have big spiders.
Oh, she's a Nelly, honestly.
No, I really don't like
What
that.
about Australia when they come up the toilet?
No, that's why I don't live in Australia. It's fine.
Well, you would live in Australia if you were born in Australia.
Well, I'd have to move.
An answer for everything.
I might think differently if I lived in Australia and I'd grown up with it, but the reality is that none of my family like spiders. Or I'm going to tell you this story. It's so terrible.
Oh God.
Right.
Is this suitable for daytime viewing?
It's just terrible. It's a confession. Terrible motherhood. I really don't like mice either. We've got cats, and I didn't realise quite initially that when you got cats you get mice. Didn't think that through at all. So, anyway, my first son, was about 5. And I spot the cat outside in the back garden tossing a live mouse in the air, right? So I gaffer taped up the cat flap like crazy so it couldn't get in, so it couldn't bring it in. I was doing this manic job, and then, like, bad parent,
Bad parent confession.
Go on, John, go on. Because I can't bear the idea of it hurting the mouse or killing it either. That's against me ethos as well. But I can't go out and help it because I'm terrified. So, in one swift movement, I opened the door, shoved John out, and shut the door, and said, "Go on, go, just go shoo it away. Go shoo it away." So it's not. I know, but
Does anyone have the number for child services?
But he's fine at dealing with mice. So.
And he's a big boy now. He's 22.
Yeah, he's.
I think he's got over the trauma.
But
that's awful.
I didn't know how else to deal with it. It was. I get neighbours to come in and deal with it because we get frogs as well, and they were just awful. I can't bear anyone.
My goodness.
Things shouldn't come into the house.
They don't belong there.
There's a rule. There should be a rule. They should know.
Right, do we have...
He'll need therapy. He's really good at dealing with all the wildlife in the house. Like, it's good when he's home.
Like he's had no choice. Oh dear. I despair.
It's bad parenting, isn't it?
That's... Yes.
That is. Yeah.
Parenting 101.
Services.
Have we got... Oh, you've got silver wax there. Have you got any of your gold?
Yeah, it's in the cupboard there.
It's in the cupboard there.
Yeah.
It's in the cupboard. Oh yeah. She's...
I've got a few stories. I won't share all of them today.
We just have one a week.
We'll go on record.
Right, I am going to go in with... I'm going to just take the label off so we can see the fantastic label underneath. Oh, it's going to be back to front, sorry. Da, 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 da. Fairy Chic Gold Wax. Looks like a lip balm. Don't use it as a lip balm.
Might be right. It's made out of beeswax.
Well, I was going to say it won't kill you, but stick it on your furniture projects instead. Fiona says yes, especially if they have babies close by. But very cute. Very cute. Very cute. Yes, so look at this colour, sorry. Look at that. Isn't that just like the sun going down? Love it. Love, 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 love. So I'm going to put that on these iodine moulds, these embellishments on here. We've got lots of stippling on it now. It's getting a lot more texturised. Yeah, although there's no texture there, we've used the colours to make it old and decrepit. Because I like old and decrepit.
I mean, you saw how rubbish my glue sticks were.
Oh yeah.
No comment, Amanda.
Yeah, we did.
But once painted, they've blended in. They look really good, and I think I might use some silver on this when it's done. I do need to tell you, because I don't know what we're doing for time, but what we've been doing this week, because we've got an amazing lineup of painters throughout the UK doing 1 hour slots next Wednesday, starting at midday. I've had a nightmare sort of tech thing going on, trying to sort out how we're going to stream to all of our pages, but I think I've sorted it. I'm hoping that whoever of us you follow, you'll be able to watch it all there. You'll certainly be able to watch the whole thing on my page, Chic Emporium, and you'll be able to see it all on Amanda Louise's page too.
Super job.
So you just need to stay put on the same page, and all of the individual lives will be streamed to
we will
those
come
pages.
to you rather than you come to
Yes,
us.
you don't have to search around the country trying to find the next page in the next hour. It will all flow. Well, it won't be seamless because that's just an impossibility, and I don't have a camera crew, etc.
No, we are not the BBC.
But I do have a son who's very techie, and we have sorted it out, and we're hoping beyond hope it'll work. The glitches between the hours will be a little bit unseamless, but you just need to bear with us.
Yeah, and we'll make it as fun as we possibly can, so you won't even notice.
Yeah.
But she has been doing the technical side of it, and trust me, it is complete gobbledygook. It goes right over my head. But she has been doing this all night, every night, ironing out. Not that the other artists have made problems, as it were, but there are problems.
You just have to have one person to coordinate it. That's the trouble. I can't delegate it.
No,
because one person has to know and talk to everyone. So I've got a group of painters, as I say, really good lineup, really impressive painters. They represent, each of them represent different paint companies and different products. They stock different products in their shop. And I really like that. I really like that as painters, we are celebrating that we love painting. We're not celebrating any one particular brand. We're celebrating lots of brands, and there are lots of good brands out there, and we want to show you the best of what we've got. So really kindly, really amazingly, I've been quite overwhelmed with the response from the paint companies themselves. I have been alongside all this techie stuff, talking to all of the paint companies that are stock in the UK, or quite a lot of them anyway, and that are associated with us as painters, and they have all very kindly agreed to give donations for the day.
Wonderful response.
Fantastic response. So we have got UK Distributors of Fusion donating, we've got Vintage with Grace donating, we've got Annabelle Duke donating, we've got General Finishes donating, Fairy Chic is definitely donating, we've got some Stencil Studios coming, we've got Sandy Hands donating. I mean, it's amazing. And what we're going to be doing is putting these bundles together, and every hour Amanda and I are going to come on to introduce the next act, and we will show you what's up for grabs. And for all of you that stay involved for that hour and share, at the end of that hour I've got a generator that I can put all the names that shared, so you can only stand a chance of winning if you share while it's live. And then at the end of that hour, Amanda and I will come back on and tell you who's won, and you'll get that bundle of freebie goodies, which is amazing.
Be generated randomly, not our hand in pot.
No,
we've got that.
No, we're not going to do the pot thing. We're going to do a random thing now. So on top of that, we want everyone donating as much as possible to this wonderful organisation, Mind. That's what this is all for. There is going to be a link under each video. I'm also going to sort out a text number that will be up here that you can phone through your donation at the time. It supports mental health awareness. They do amazing work. It's an amazing charity, and it is an issue that's close to all of our hearts. One way or another, it's touched our lives, and people don't talk about it enough. And I, as you know, was a mental health nurse for 20 odd years, and it's talked about so much more now than it was, which is amazing, and it needs to be more.
Yeah.
It needs to be more. So get on board, 12 o'clock next.
It's going to be just so exciting, and it's going to be so much fun, despite all the hard work.
And if I look like this, it's because I'm panicking. I am panicking. I've got to tell you, I am panicking, and it's because there's a lot riding on this. I want it to go well for you guys. I want it to go well for the cause. I want it to go well as an achievement, because I don't think this is something that's been done in the UK, definitely,
certainly not to my
paint-wise before. So it's a first, and yeah, there's a lot riding on it for me, but we'll muddle through.
And we'll do it again next year if you want.
I have said today, after Wednesday, that's it. I am chilled. No, I'm not committing to anything else, because I did this after the paint, didn't I?
She drives me nuts, right? Right, I'm just about to get on my soapbox here. She drives me nuts, and I love her dearly. I do, but we're two very different characters. I tend to, if things start getting a bit manic, I need to be calm. I need to slow down and just keep everything really basic. Paula, on the other hand,
I like a runaway train.
she is, and it's like idea after idea after idea after idea. And I did say to her after she launched the paint, right, that's it.
Stop.
You're frazzled. It's been too much.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. Now, don't take anything more on board for 6 months.
You did. We actually sat in the pub and had that conversation.
We did.
And I said,
about 2 days later,
I said, what about this idea of all the paint colours? Do you think it could work? And she said,
great.
I think it's a great idea. Give it 6 months. Just wait.
Yeah.
Next text message. I've been a bit naughty.
I figured out, and I've got so and so on board, and I think we should do it on October the 10th.
I couldn't stop myself.
It was like a runaway train.
And then it was because this was literally, it's only Monday, a week ago, we started this, and I looked up Mental Health Awareness Day, and it's 10th of October. Like, we haven't got time to sort it in that period, but
She's made time.
yeah, I'm moaning a lot.
So, of course, I have said to her, after this,
Yeah.
you're not to do anything for 6 months.
So guys, you need to hold me to it. I don't know what you do if I don't.
I give up.
Yeah,
I give up.
I don't, yeah. I need a break. I need a break.
We'll all come and visit you.
I shall need some mental health intervention
You
myself.
will.
It's like Live Aid for painters. Yeah, I've said that to my kids the other night, and they'd never heard of Live Aid. Can you believe that? Never heard of it. I know. I explained it to them. It is like Live Aid for painters.
They must have seen like Live Aid 2 sort of thing.
I know.
No?
And I even did a rendition of the song. You know, not that the singing went too well.
You want to get them to Google it.
Yeah, no, I explained it. They've not heard of it, and they've not heard of Bob Geldof either, which was just shameful. I failed on
You
so
have
many levels
failed
as a parent.
Right, another failure. Of
Yeah,
yours.
so put it in a little book somewhere.
So, I have gone in. The paint is still slightly damp, so bear
This
with
is
me.
the lovely colour you're going to get next
This
week.
is the
Actually,
colour
you're
that
up for
I
prize.
adore. Yep, so I adore this colour. This isn't the one you're getting. You're getting a nice fresh one. It's
Well,
called Stone Grey.
It's got a bit of hot glue on it.
It's got a bit of hot glue
actually.
on it, but the wrapper's
But it
still
has
fine.
got...
It's still intact. It stays on. This one is Stone Grey, and I love it so much because it's like a charcoal rather than a black. Oh, we've got comments coming up. Something about live. We've got a big thing in front of our screen. You won't see it, but it's blocking some of the messages. So yeah, I've gone in and stamped spells. I'm going to do smaller text down here. Still saying spells, but in a smaller text. I love this. I love this. I could even put a little bit of it on the... See, this is what I like about the stamps. You can do so much with it.
Put it down the edges.
Yeah, well...
This is like crafting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sponge it up. That looks cool.
Oh, yes. And then down the edges, down the spine. It gives it that decrepit look. Particularly around those corners. Can you see? Look at those.
That's
corners.
what I used on that pink, my Marie Antoinette stool, isn't it? I
Yes.
used the stamp around the edges.
That's
Look
right.
really good.
Just ages it up.
I've got black all over my face now.
Now I've got paint on my stamp.
Have I got black all over my face?
Oh, so much black.
Really? I was going to just revisit this and show you because this was kind of
yes.
a happy accent. I know it's back to front, but basically we smeared 3 colours underneath, so yellow, orange and red in random patterns. Then we put a layer of crackle on, and then I sponged, as I showed you before, the white on the top, and I hair dried it, and it was dry, touch dry, but obviously not as dry as it could have been. And then I stamped straight away using that same ink, and where it's wet, it's just slightly wet, it's lifted off the white and showed the colour underneath. It's really effective. It wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have done it straight away, but it was literally the stamps were pulling off little bits of the white paint and the crackle, and I really like the effect because I was going to watercolour in like I did with the Tim Holtz the extras, but it's pulled away so much of the colours underneath. It doesn't need it. It looks lovely.
Looks honestly
Yeah.
a real happy accident, and probably because you were rushing a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to take a good photograph of that and put that up on my page anyway, because we're obviously advertising, promoting as much as possible what we're doing. How are we doing for time?
We have 15 minutes.
I can't do much without hair dryers. I'm stuck.
You could paint one of our pumpkins.
Well, I've got a pumpkin on the go
You've got a
here,
pumpkin on the go.
but it's... Yes.
I'm just going in with my
I might just sit and straight noodle.
stroke noodle. Sure, we can find you a job.
Hair noodle. He likes to sit with us. I don't think you can see him, but he's on the chair here. And when we work here of a day where we're actually sat at the table, we have to get a 3rd chair out. So he sits between us. Like this.
But as soon as you leave your own chair, he stays on it.
Yeah, he nicks it. He's naughty. Which leads me to
Scary
my dog story of the week. Bless his heart.
What's that?
Well, Noodle has anxiety separation. He's had it from day one. He wants to be with someone all the time, and he really panics if you leave him, to the point of in the car salivering even when you've just gone to pay for petrol. And hubby commented on at the beginning of the week, I think he's got a bit better with that with me. When I've got him in the van, we just opened the window a little bit, I've gone into the shop, whatever, no barking, it's absolutely fine. So I thought, oh, well, all right, because in the summer I'd literally pop into Tesco's Express. I was literally gone less than 5 minutes, and I'd have a crowd of people waiting around the car when I came out, thinking I was just terrible. And
A terrible parent.
For days in the heat when it'd literally been 3 minutes. And it was better than leaving him at home howling for half an hour. So, you know, it's kind of like the lesser of the two evils. So I ended up avoiding going to the shop the whole of the summer and saying to my husband, you're going to have to deal with it. And that looks really cool.
I'm thinking of putting something down
Yeah.
there. A little something.
Yeah, I like that. So anyway, on Monday I had to post some paint off. So I went to the post office. I was gone 10 minutes. Came back, howling the place down in the van. Howling the place down. I then had to pop to Sainsbury's, and I literally ran around Sainsbury's. Got enough for 1 meal. I was gone 5 minutes, if that. Came out of Sainsbury's and glanced across the car park, you know, to try and remember where my van was, even though my van, you know, is quite colourful and sticks out. But
just a bit.
it does stick out. But as I'm doing a quick glance across, realise my van is the only one in the whole car park that is actually shaking. I managed to get round the other side of the van and peer through the window because the dog's still fixed to where he last saw me.
Oh.
And he's throwing himself round the van, howling his head off.
Oh.
And I knock on the door,
Baby.
and he turns his head round, looks at me, and then his tail wags in the relief.
Oh.
Yes, he's a bit of
Poor little boy.
I know. Hi Laura. Hi Liz. We're missing lots of these comments. It's quite hard to see them because they're very tiny on a small screen, but we always come back afterwards, and thank you for joining us and answer any of your questions, whatever. As you know, unless any of you are new, we repeat this at 7?
Yes.
7 o'clock in the Paint Forum on the Fairy Chic page. So if you haven't joined that, first post down, click join. And we have a watch party where Amanda and I are both on live in our separate abodes, and we answer any questions and have a chat and have a bit more banter. You can tell me about your terrible parenting to make me feel better.
Yes. Oh, there might be a few stories.
So join us at 7. That's looking at you. You've done better than me.
No, I haven't. Not at all. Just different colours. So that's where I'm up to. Okay, obviously, as I say, I haven't done the back yet. It's still quite red. So
that's Alice. I haven't seen Alice in motion yet. You see, that's a nice colour. They go well together.
They do. The hair colours.
And that Melusum as well.
Yeah.
Smooth talking chocolate velvet.
Yeah, so we've got that, and a little dash of your creamy colour, which is Sen. Yeah, that just highlights. Okay. So yeah, that's looking beautiful. I've put the spells across the bottom there. And I'm going to put a little mould here on the spine, just something small. So I'm waiting for that to dry off.
Did you do it smoothly?
I've done it smoothly. Smooth.
Not that's what you said I was doing.
Malia's here. What are you saying, Malia?
That's
so rad.
Oh, that's a good word.
I like that.
Yeah,
That word is not used enough.
Quite.
Yeah. Thanks for that. That kind of makes us sound pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm nearly dry.
Whoops! Nearly forgot. Shared. Thank you, Jeanette. Imagine if you'd forgotten. Da, da, da. Would have
I
been
am
writing
getting messages from you guys to say that you've received our gifts, which is cool.
Yep.
I'm now using You Saw the Gold. We've also got silver. So I'm just going to use my finger on the dry
really
bit.
nice. With the black and the brown together.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, look, and it just, wow, I like my spiderless cobweb, because the spider itself's been splattered.
But not by you.
Not by me, no. My mum used to,
some brave soul.
she used to capture the spiders in the hoover and then drop the hoover and put a bit of tissue in the end of the hoover, and then we wouldn't touch the hoover for a week.
Really?
Can you see where I get it from?
To go to all that work?
No, look. Doesn't that look nice?
It's fabulous.
It's really effective.
Do you know what? I am just in love with the black and the brown.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to use that in a combination.
Yeah. It's definitely good for grunge.
I love it. Cool. I'm going to make you a little spider to go on there.
No, you're not.
You're live.
Well, no, it doesn't make any difference. My sister used to have a remote control. I mean, it didn't even particularly look like a spider, to be honest.
Oh, not what I
But
did.
it was one where it had 2 arms and they went over and over and over. They rolled at you and it had
Oh.
big black eyes. It was just, I was terrified. Terrified. She just taunt me with it.
That's what sisters do. Well, I'm kind of at a point where I can't do anything else until I wait for that.
Yeah, how are we
properly.
for time?
We have just 5 minutes.
Oh, let's
To
do a
remind
recap
you.
of our gifts. And,
Yeah.
It
I
was-
like that stuff.
yeah. So let's just hold up our finished projects here. So
Hold up, show it all
it's
round.
not quite. Obviously, this would need sealing. Oh, and I've got a bit of pattern on my bottle there as well. But
You are bringing it back. Thanks for sharing, Malia.
I'm bringing it back. So look how cool that is. Both cool, both Halloween projects. You can do that easily at home.
Yeah.
Got to drink a bottle of whiskey though. Oh well.
Drinkaware.gov.org, whatever it is.
God, drink sensibly. Hear it here. Right.
Right, prizes.
Who won? Tracy Toms.
Tracy Toms.
This week's winner of these 2 things.
This
So
be packaged off to
PM me
you.
your address and I will get those off to you this week. And to be in for a chance of winning this lovely stone grey Stays On ink and IOD Build a Wreath stamp. It's cool. It's cool.
Share.
Yeah, and write shared underneath, and that way you'll go into the generator that I've got.
And if you share twice, go in twice.
I don't know. If you've shared twice, you need to write shared in 2 separate comments.
Yeah. It's the only way we're going to find
you. Not in the same comment. No, it's because of the generator.
Yes.
It will count up how many times you've commented. So you need to comment in separate things. And
not shared times 2, but
no, that
shared.
won't work now. Now
Shared.
I've got to put it into this thing that my son set me up.
Laura's shared.
Yeah. Fiona's shared.
Fiona's shared.
Good girl. Well done. Well,
Nice.
we hope you enjoyed this little impromptu Halloween. It was just a
quickie.
A quickie, because we tend to like to have our 2-week projects.
Yeah. But we have got a big 12-hour...
We've got plans. And I described my what I've got planned in our group, and one of the other people said, "You do know you've only got an hour, don't you?" And I said, "No, I've got 2 hours.
We've got 2 hours.
I've got one at the beginning and one at the end, and I've got 10 hours in between."
Yeah.
So I'm throwing everything at my project this next Wednesday, so you're going to want to join in.
Trust me, she is. In fact, there has been tears and tantrums because she's got the most fabulous idea.
You had a slump, didn't you?
I had it. Oh, such.
She went like this. I don't want to play anymore.
Really was off on one.
She's sulked. She's a good sulker.
Mine's going to look good too.
Yeah, it will. It'll be fun. It's not a competition anyway.
Not a
competition. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
Right, guys. See you later. 7 o'clock. Please join us on.
Yeah. Join us at 7. On what?
What's it called?
Very chic.
Watch party.
Watch
That's
party.
it. Yeah, in the forum. That's it. See you there.
It's been a long week.
Bye.
Cheers.